And once I understood AI from this perspective, things began to get a lot easier for me. I was less stressed and just more hopeful for the future because I stopped seeing a monster. Finally, I started seeing Lately, AI has been the talk of the town. Its rapid learning and adaptability has everyone asking, is it going to
try to take over the world?
Now, while AI still has a long way to go before it could even have a fair chance at global domination, it's undeniably making significant strides in our society, where we are seeing job layoffs and even workers striking against the advancement of AI, all in hopes of securing their place in the workforce. So, I get it. I get why this might make you feel like the end is near. But here's the thing. While yes, Jesus is going to return, and thus theoretically and as a matter of fact, every day does bring us closer to that end, AI on its own is not the end. Not even close. In fact, when you understand AI through a biblical lens, where others are seeing panic, you will see purpose. So let's get into it. But first, hi, I am Lavon, and welcome back to the channel where we elevate your mindset so you can move from where you are to where you're called to be. And today's mindset shift, AI has ushered in the end of an era, but not the end of existence. Okay, so to understand AI's purpose from a biblical perspective and how it's not the end of human existence, let's go all the way back to the beginning where God created Adam and Eve. They had no stress, no bills, no alarm clocks. They were in Eden, the blueprint of paradise, the place of abundance where work as we know it did not exist. Now, unfortunately, total bliss did not last very long once Adam and Eve sinned. By eating fruit from the tree of knowledge, God told Adam, "From the sweat of your brow you will eat your food," which translation means
no more freebies.
And that was the moment that this thing called work entered the chat, which meant that Adam had to grind now. He had to grow his own food, build shelter. He had to learn how to survive in order to thrive. Before that, they just thrived. In John Milton's poem, Paradise Lost, he paints a vivid picture of the aftermath of Adam's disobedience. Milton describes the ground being cursed and Adam now having to eat in sorrow all the days of his life. What once was effortless now requires toil. And Milton was not alone in that thought. Countless scholars and theologians since have echoed that the moment humanity lost Eden, we also lost ease of life. And this is why all of us, in some form or another, are in constant search of peace. You might even hear some say, I just want peace. I want to live somewhere quiet, off the grid, in nature. Or if not off the grid, they'll say, I want to live in a safe community with my loved ones and around people I can get along with. Or I don't want to have to worry about paying bills ever. Well, this need, this desire for absolute peace, it is man's yearning for Eden. Whether we realize it or not, we are always trying to get back to the place where it was once good and very good, where there was no stress, no sickness, no fear. And that is because the memory of Eden is encoded in our DNA. This is why every generation has contributed to making life easier, faster, safer, better. Not just because we're creative, but because we're searching. Every tool, every invention is an echo of a paradise we lost, a longing for the world as it once was and was meant to be. Artificial intelligence is not some sinister plot. It is man doing what man has always done, trying to ease the burden of toil in a post-Eden world, to relieve the weight of the curse. So while AI is a very powerful tool, it is still just a tool created to help us make our lives easier. It is just that right now it seems overwhelming because it is front and center as man's greatest invention. But so was the plow, the printing press, electricity, the internet. Each of them groundbreaking in their time, each one reshaping how we live and work. Just like them, AI is still just a tool, merely clay in the hands of its maker, us. And once I understood AI from this perspective, things began to get a lot easier for me. I was less stressed and just more hopeful for the future because I stopped seeing a monster. Finally, I started seeing a mission. I started seeing the clay. Isaiah 29:16 says, "Shall the potter be regarded as the clay, that the thing made should say of its maker, He did not make me, or the thing formed say of him who formed it, He has no understanding." That last line, "He has no understanding," is so profound. God doesn't just resolve the man versus invention debate by reminding us that creation will never surpass its creator. He goes further, stating that to believe otherwise is to reveal a lack of understanding. And irony of this is that many of the loudest voices claiming that AI is superior to humans and that its rise signals the end of humanity are the very ones considered the most intelligent among us. Yet God's word makes it plain. If you think creation rules the creator, you don't get it, and you can't be as wise as you think. Because just as you are clay in God's hands, AI is clay in yours. Now, if you're still convinced AI might surpass us, consider this.
Now, we have pretty much no idea how the biological brain works, and so to realize this vision will take major breakthroughs in AI that none of us know yet today how to realize. But
okay, so if we don't fully understand the human brain, how can we claim to have recreated it? That's like trying to build a machine based on a blueprint we haven't finished drawing. People, that's not dominance, that's drawing from shadow and calling it light.
Oh, pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
While AI may have signaled the end of one era, it's also marking the beginning of another. Just as tractors change farming, just as cars change transportation, just as Amazon Prime changed how we shop and convinced us that 2 days is just too long to wait for anything. Like every major shift before it, AI is another tool meant to help us build, grow, and improve the world around us. I know for me, just using it to synthesize data, edit video scripts, and streamline my workflow has been a total game changer because it's allowed me to find more rest and ease in my day, and it has given me more time to spend with my loved ones. By now, hopefully, you see AI for what it truly is. Not the potter, but the clay, molded by human hands. It's a tool we form and guide towards something purposeful, something that can serve a greater good. And no creation of ours, no matter how brilliant, can outdo what the Creator already did on the cross. And ultimately, it is salvation, not AI, not more money, but salvation is what will yield the perfect peace you seek. John 3:16 reminds us, "For God so loved the world that he gave us his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life." Now, up next in video 2 of this 4-part series, we'll go even deeper, exploring AI and your purpose to break the myth that coding can affect your calling. Then in video 3, we'll get real about AI and your job, what it means, what it doesn't, and why it might be freeing you more than threatening you. And finally, in the last video, I'll show you 3 powerful ways AI can help you live like the super rich without needing to increase your income. And until next time, I encourage you to keep going, because if you do, I know God will get you from where you are now to where you're called to be. God bless.